Hello, fashion enthusiasts. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Pamela Lucas here from the House of Pamela Renee. I hope you all are doing well today. This is Fashion Friday, and we have a lot to discuss. Like I said, Pamela Lucas here from the House of Pamela Renee, owner, CEO, designer. You know, when you have your own business, there's so many hats that you'll have on that you have to do almost everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Fashion Designers for Life group, welcome. Outside people outside of the group, welcome. Hello, someone here, Facebook user says Fashion Friday. Yes, it is. And as you recall, we've been talking about a lot of things. One time we talked about Michelle Obama's coat and we broke that down. We did Jill Biden's inauguration coat. We broke that down. And last week we had Christian Michael on. We talked about design and fashion, and we saw some of his line that he's producing as well. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to give the men some love. We're going to talk about men's suits. Lots of times when you see patterns and people talk about patterns and pattern design, it's always women's clothing. But there's a lot that happens with the men's suiting. You think it's all the same, but it's not. It's a lot of changes, a lot of design, a lot of technical things, a lot of different type of terminology that goes on with that as well. So I'm going to pose, where are my questions? 3 questions for you. And then we're going to take a look at Patrick Mahomes' suit. The quarterback, the Kansas City Chiefs, we're going to look at that suit. We're going to break it down. And we're going to look at the designer who's designing his suits. And we're going to see what his philosophy is on things. Okay? So my questions to you are going to be, what is a custom-made suit? And I would like for you to post it. Post your answers here. When we say, oh, I have a custom-made suit, I have a custom suit, what does that mean? All right, there's another term out there, made to measure. What is a made to measure suit? What's the process in that? Made to measure. Write these things down, Fashion Designers for Life group, because we got a lot of teachings going on here. All right, so, and if someone said handmade, so think about that. If your answer is handmade, please put down, I think a custom suit is handmade. If you give me a complete sentence, I'm sorry, that's the educator in me, then I'll know what you're talking about and I can answer you properly. So can other people help as well. All right, then we have, what's a tailored suit? What's a tailored suit? And the last one we're going to talk about, what is a bespoke suit? Bespoke, B-E-S-P-O-K-E. What is a bespoke suit? It's a lot of trends and craze going around about the bespoke suit. What is that? So we're going to talk about that. All right. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and then we're just going to dive right into what we're talking about with these suits. All right. Share screen. Okay. Share. And now let's pull this up. Fashion Fridays with the House of Pamela Renee, where fashion meets education. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Look at that Patrick Mahomes suit. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at that. Let's get a closer look at what we're seeing. Let me zoom in. All right, looks like a notch collar. Looks like a tweed suit. I see some flaps over here for pockets. This is probably a welt pocket, or some people call it a besom pocket with the flap. There are the buttons and buttonholes, and over here is probably a breast pocket. I can't see the cuffs of the sleeve to see if they're real buttonholes. I guess that's bottled water right there, I'm assuming. We see he has a vest underneath. It's a double-breasted vest with the shawl collar lapel. The suit jacket on top is a single breast. All right, there are the pants, and of course, There are the narrow legs. I wonder what the bottom opening is on that. All right. So now let's go ahead and go down to the next shot. Okay, same thing. So I guess this is custom, maybe. What do you think his suit is? Is it custom, bespoke, made to measure? Is it tailored? I see he has his number 15 inside. Okay. Now, let me take one peek, see if I get anybody. Tailored, getting it custom. Okay, I see some people writing some notes down there. Okay, good, 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 good. Let's go back. All right, now, here we go. Stephen Richards is the owner of Richards Bespoke in Nashville and the man responsible for outfitting the best football player on the planet. Richards was introduced to Mahomes a few years ago, and made his suit for the NFL awards when he won league MVP. Okay, so this is where he's getting his suits done, made, whatever you want to, however way you want to call it. Terminology changes with the times. Okay, here is Stephen Richards Jr. He says he's the owner, founder, and certified master bespoke clothier. Everybody knows here we got Patrick Mahomes, quarterback, Kansas City Chiefs. Here's some other photos of Stephen Richards. Now, let's see what he says a custom suit is. Custom can mean anything. Choosing a colored lining or fancy button gives a suit maker the right to call it custom. Bottom line, custom means you've had some say in the suit's design, but the suit isn't necessarily made for your body. A custom suit is made in a factory, and any changes are altered by the tailor. Now, so this is his point of view. All right, what's made to measure? Made to measure suits are created with pre-existing pattern, but provide the ability to make size adjustments based on your body type. All right, then he talks about when he first got into the industry. He said, I used to use a made-to-measure manufacturer. I quickly learned that I couldn't fit everybody with the standardized paper pattern that had to be altered on multiple occasions. Ultimately, most made-to-measure suits can't make adjustments for the shoulder slope, posture, or any significant asymmetrical irregularities in the body, and most men are now built with very broad shoulders and a more narrow waist. So there's only so much a tailor can do in that area. Let's stop sharing for a moment. So those are his ideas about made to measure and custom. Let's see what he says about bespoke. And then I have two more tailors that have their ideas. And then I'm going to give you mine. We're going to make this quick because I know you guys are having lunch. And like I said, I always thank you for having your lunch with me. Okay, let's go back to share the screen. Let's get my document back up. Okay, now this is what Stephen says. A true bespoke suit is more of an art form. Okay, everybody says it's originating on Savile Row in London. Bespoke means to be spoken for. Okay, I'll break that down a little bit more for you. That means this fabric is spoken for this customer. Okay. All right, a bespoke suit allows you to speak into every step of the process, from fitting to fabric to final touches. Let's not forget about the style. You know, you can choose what style you want. All right, the bespoke process involves creating unique, original patterns specific to a client's body structure. All right, now this is the class discussion. I'd like for you to make sure you put in the chat what you think the definitions of these terms are. Now, Nicholas Joseph in Chicago, and a lot of people go to him. The custom suit process begins by having measurements taken of your body and deciding on what your garment, the fit of your garment, okay? A custom suit or custom garment arrives finished. and then it's altered by the tailor. Okay, bespoke. This is a process of when you start. Okay, let me stop sharing. I'm sorry, guys. I keep going back and forth because I need to look at you. I want to see you when I'm talking about this. So on a bespoke garment, this is the one that is made from scratch. Take the measurements. And then you measure. Hello, somebody said, Facebook user said, hi, Pam. Hello. So you take the measurements of your customer, and then you begin to make your pattern right there. It's not something you're going to send out with measurements. You make you in that shop, in that tailor shop. It's not a lot of true bespoke tailors. It's made right there. And when they make it, you get a muslin fitting. We don't know what fabric you're going to use yet, because first we gotta determine that it's going to fit you. It's going to fit your body. So right then and there, they make the pattern, and then they cut it out of muslin and they try it on you. They try it on the client. All right, and then they make sure that the shoulder slopes and everything fits just right. When it's fit for you, it's fit for you. And then you have to have several fittings. After you do that, then they say, okay, this muslin fitting is doing well. We like it. Now let's go to the fabric. And they have to build it up. You know, they have the fabric, they have the interlining, the lining, they have all different things, and they have to build it up. And when they do that, they first do it, they baste it in white thread. That's why these suits cost $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for the suit. So that's a special customer. So okay. Then they baste it with the white thread, put it on you. And the reason why it's basted, when we say basted, we're not talking about a turkey that you baste. No, we're talking about long stitches, hand sewn long stitches on the seam, and then press out. Put it on the body of the customer. Look at it, make sure it's good. Because if something is wrong, then you can easily take the stitch out and make your new line for your new stitch. Okay. All right. So let me go back. We're going to share again. Okay. So I just kind of broke down what Nicholas Joseph in Chicago says about bespoke. Okay. In Chicago, their start at $2,795. See, here's a little picture of as they're making suits. Let's see if we can make that a little bit bigger for you. You see how they're hand sewing some things down. They have the pattern cut. This is actually, you see right there, right over there will be some I used to call those crow's feet. They have to hand sew the wool interfacing to the garment. Okay, look at this. That's an actual pattern right there. You know, that's somebody, and here, that is part of a sleeve. That's the under sleeve for a two-piece sleeve. Look at this front. So you got the front, and look at the armhole, and part of the side is, in this particular design, is attached to the front. Okay, then you have a picture of somebody cutting some stuff out here. I got these photos from Fine Stitch here in Kansas City, Missouri. But look at that. Okay, let's go. Now, someone else, Real Men, Real Style, they broke it down like this. Off the rack. Off the rack suits are machine made in batches and designed to fit a broad range of men. So, you know, you go to the store, you go to wherever you're going to buy your suits at, you got a bunch of them on the rack, you take one off, you put it on, you fit it. Okay, a custom suit is made or adjusted to your measurements. Okay, what Real Men, Real Style is saying, this is what they're saying. Custom suit 1, the made-to-measure suit. Usually, a machine cuts a made-to-measure suit from an existing pattern. A tailor then adjusts it to fit your measurements. Okay? All right. Now, custom 2, he's calling that the bespoke suit. Like a made-to-measure suit, bespoke suits are made to your measurements. However, bespoke suits are often handmade from scratch. And this process requires for you to have multiple fittings. Okay, when somebody down here he talks about a tailored suit. And finally, a tailor-made suit or tailored suit is any suit which has been altered to fit the customer. Okay? All right. So let's look at Giorgio Armani. $2,695 for this suit. Look at that. Look at the back. I personally got some issues with this fitting over here, and some issues I have issues with the flaps, with the vents. I think they should be longer. I think it should be shorter. It should be closed up to a certain point so it doesn't just flap all around. But that's my personal opinion, especially if you have a customer that has a larger derriere. That back jacket flap would just be flapping in the wind. Okay, all right. Shawl collars laying good, breast pocket. The sleeve is in there good. That looks good. All right. All right. All right. So here's some designs that I did of some guys. That's one of my jackets that I did. All right. That's what it looks like with the whole collection. All right. Here's another suit that I designed. And you notice where the sleeves are. We always want part of your shirt to show. There we go, right there. Narrow legs. Nice fabric. And we got some satin with it. All right. You guys can design suits. All right, here we got the mud cloth. And we have another one here. Okay. If you have any questions, any comments, any concerns, I'm going to stop sharing real quick. Then, like I said, here's the Mahomes suit. Looks very nice. All right. Do we have any other questions from anybody else about what we talked about? We talked about the custom suit, the bespoke suit, the made to measure, and we talked about tailored suits. Now, the thing that all this has in common is you have to have a pattern. Now, some people will say, yes, I can design stuff and I make stuff and I don't even use patterns. Okay, that's good for that one particular style or that one particular garment. But suppose somebody likes it and they want one. They suppose you designed a dress or a suit, someone likes it, you didn't use a pattern because you gifted that way, and you cut it out. And then they say, okay, I need 3 more in different sizes. It would help you a lot to have pattern. Think about all the clothes on all the people in the world. You have to have a pattern for it. There has to be some type of method, designers, that gets it from your head to the hanger. So what is your method that you're going to be using for that? How are you going to do that? You're going to learn that. You're going to work with a mentor, or you're going to go to school. Or, I mean, I got a workshop coming up. You can come to my workshop, my free workshop. Come to that and kind of get some ideas. Do your due diligence, do your research on how you're actually going to get a pattern made or make a pattern. And what is the worth of a pattern? What is it worth? What is the worth of your sloper? We kind of talked about that in previous times. You use a sloper that has the main sizes, it has the main size of your business, the main fit. And then from there, you grade it and it gives you consistency throughout your sizes. I talk about that a lot in the apparel production for fashion designers course. But right now, I just want you to understand that you're going to need a pattern. So I'm going to show you just a few examples of a pattern. I'm going to share my screen, show you a few examples of a pattern, and we'll go from there. And designers, if you're designing women's clothing, that's good. You know, try to design some men's clothing because that's a big industry as well. And then we still have to talk about the full figured industry because larger sizes sell very well. And we need to include, we want to be inclusive. We want to include all different types of sizes. Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen one more time and I'm going to show you some little patterns that you kind of want to be aware of. Okay. And then we'll go from there. All right. Let's go to share the screen. All right. And I want to bring the camera up. Okay, let's move my little tissue out the way. All right, but you know, when I'm teaching, we got a lot of different levels. We have some people that are at a beginning level. We got some people who are more advanced. So basically, this is an example of a shirt pattern. And as you begin to get more into this industry, you got to know what these mean. As a designer, if you don't know what they mean, you want to kind of investigate, you want to find out. You can always hire people to do this type of work for you, but you should know a little something about it. Just a little something about it. We know that's our grain line. We know that this is where we got a center front, and then we know we got a folded line. We have notches. Notches are very important. Usually for the front shirt, you got one notch in the armhole, and in the back, you have two notches usually. Okay, so there's our shoulder line. Let's look at the sleeve. This is a pattern for just a regular basic shirt. Here we have our sleeve. It says cut 2 because you're going to cut 2 of the fabric. Over here, if you notice, the back says cut 1 because it's going to be placed on the fold. And when you open it up, you have your left and your right. Over here in the front, it says cut 2 because you need a left side and a right side. Okay. Let's look at the collar. It's cut 2 because you have an under collar and a top collar. And then here is your cuff. Cut 2 of those. And then there's a little sleeve placket. If you look at your sleeves, there's a little placket right there. So this is just an example of some patterns for a shirt. Now, for those of you who are beginning, here is a pattern that you would use for men's jeans. There's a lot of information on the pattern. Has the sizes up here, the picture, what it looks like. It's a bold pattern. Let's flip it over. Let's see what information is on the back. I encourage beginners to try to use a regular commercial pattern first before you start making slopers and making your own patterns, because of all this information will help you. Here's a little sketch. Let me kind of bring it up a little closer here because it also talks about, here's a size breakdown. Actually, this is the fabric. It tells you 45-inch wide fabric, 60-inch wide fabric, what you would do, what you would need, lining, interfacing, suggested fabric. So you need to know your fabrics. Also has the notions, and this takes a zipper and a button. And then over here, it has a breakdown of the sizes. It has what you know, what your waist should be, and so on and so forth, and what your hips should be. And inside this, it has the actual pattern and some instructions. All right, we're gonna stop sharing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, do I have any other questions here? Someone said measured for the specific client. Okay. Someone says custom equals unique to that person. It can be at the end. And remember, custom suits, when they're done, they come finished. except for the bottom hem. You know, on pants, tailored suits, the bottom hem is not finished because you always got to get a hem, H-E-M. Okay. And on the bespoke suits, those come as a work in process because you're going to be going to the tailor to get that done. Think about it. If somebody tries to sell you a bespoke suit and they take your measurements and they say, okay, come back and we'll do a fitting. You go back, you do a fitting, and it's the garment with the stuff that you chose. You chose the lining, you chose the top stitching for the thread, you chose the buttons, you chose the style. That's custom, that's not bespoke. Because bespoke, when you first go back after they take extensive measurements, it should be a muslin fitting to make sure that if you got one shoulder bigger than the other, if you got some irregularities, if you got one leg longer than the other, if you got different issues, that your pattern is made specifically for you. In other words, they can't use that pattern on somebody else because it's made specifically for you. And when you put on that suit and you go take care of your business and do what you have to do, you're looking fabulous. It's fitting you like a glove. Just don't gain any weight or lose any weight. Stay the same. All right. So do we have any other comments here? Fashion Friday. Somebody said handmade. Okay. Hello, Pam. Hello. All right. So that's your homework. That's your classwork. That's the things you need to think about. You should be investigating on your own. You should always take information and investigate, find out for yourself because everybody has their own opinion. You got custom suits, bespoke suits, made to measure suits, tailored suits, and they all need patterns. Now, those of you who struggling maybe with pattern making and maybe struggling with this business, I invite you to come to my free pattern making workshop. Okay. Now, I have a link. If you want to see the link, I have the link there. And maybe what I can do is post the link here for you for the free pattern making workshop. It's 5 days. Yes. You're going to learn a lot. Please, I encourage you to tell your friends. And here's the link. Oh, I hit, all right, I'm gonna give you the link to it. It's bit.ly/pattern making workshop. I encourage you to go ahead, follow that link, get signed up. And just so you know, that pattern making workshop, okay, I must have an error occurred. Wait a moment, then they'll try again. Oh, I put a space in between there. What can I say? I'm a pattern maker, a pattern designer. Typing is not my forte. But the free workshop is only going to happen in the Fashion Designers for Life Facebook group. All right, because I just want to make sure that people who are really interested in this field, you get privy to this information. You get privy to these teachings that I'm getting ready to do for you. Okay, pattern making workshop. Let's try that again. Making workshop. All right, let's make sure I got that right. That. All right. Oh, I see someone else went ahead and put that in there for me too. I appreciate that, Monique, very much. All right. Well, hello, Annie. Okay. All right. So you're going to learn a lot in that 5-day free workshop. I encourage you to go ahead and sign up for it. Tell your friends who are interested in it. Sign up for it. You're going to need a notebook. There's so many things you're going to need. I will be emailing you every day to make sure that you're on time, to make sure you have your work, and make sure, and then we can also have some interaction to make sure that you understand. As teachers, as educators, the most important thing for us is to make sure that you understand what the lesson is all about. When I take my classes, and I take classes because I'm a lifetime learner too. When I take different classes and be part of different workshops, I want to make sure I'm learning what I'm supposed to be learning. So when on the flip side, when I'm teaching, I want to make sure you're learning what you're supposed to be learning. And the things that you'll learn in this workshop, you will be able to use. And it doesn't matter what level you're on, if you're at the beginning level or if you're more seasoned. You know, teachers, we have to be able to help all different types of learners. Okay. All right. So if I don't see any other questions here or any other comments here, then we'll get ready to stop and finish having your lunch. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to check my phone just to make sure, because sometimes there's a time lag here when I'm broadcasting that I won't I don't get a chance to see everything that you type up. So I just want to make sure that I got you all covered. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being part of this broadcast about the men's suits, the House of Pamela Renee on Fashion Fridays with the Fashion Designers for Life group. Thank you for being a part of it. And be kind to somebody this weekend. Be kind to somebody all the time. Do something nice for somebody. Spread a little love and joy. Okay? Thank you. Stay warm. Stay safe. God bless you.